Hello and welcome to a quick little follow-up video for the episode that I uploaded yesterday about this thing here, and I've actually made changes to it. The one change you should be able to notice already is the maximum difference in height between two lines that are next to each other is 2. So two lines will cannot be more than 2 pixels difference in height, and that creates a bit of a wave type of look, which makes it look like a more of a natural fire. I'll bring it over here to compare it to what it used to look like. Just pretty random, didn't really make much sense, and then come over here and looks a lot better. And of course we still have the option for the smoke. However, I did add one more thing. Brick. Yep. This is just a 6x2 image, so just here to there. And it's just printed multiple times, going down and then over and then down and then over and then down and then over and then down. And that allows it to be compatible with any monitor size without extending further than it needs to. And it's not slowing down because it causes lag. In fact, it doesn't cause any lag at all. It's just that when the brick background is enabled, I have the delay between updates extended, because if it still updates as quickly as it does without it, you can actually still see it a tiny bit. It does have a teeny tiny bit of lag between when it prints the brick background and when it prints the fire. Yeah, you can see it there. You can see the brick a tiny bit before it prints the fire. And so if it's running at the normal speed like it is now, you see that a lot. It's really noticeable. And to combat that, I just extended delay from 0.15 seconds to 0.20. Actually, 0.25, I believe. And the smoke can still be used with this setting. It still works fine. And so those are the only things that I've changed with it so far. Wasn't really that difficult. The height control thingy here was only about like 4 lines of code added, and then this I used the paint program that comes with Computercraft to just drop an image, and then I wrote a function to print it, and it just detects for a redstone input on the left side of the computer to decide whether that's on or not, just like it detects on the top for the smoke. And that's also an optional requirement for if you're setting this up on your own. And I will have a new pastebin code in the description for this one. And I'll also put it in the previous one. And so that's about it. It's not really much, but it's all aesthetics in this one. It's like how most software is developed. The first release, you make it work. Second release, you make it look nice. Yeah. I'll probably start adding more options, more toggleable options, and you'll start having to have multiple computers so that each computer would have like 5 inputs, and then the last side would be used up for a rednet cable so that I can have more than 6 inputs. But actually, the maximum is 5 because there's still that one side being taken up there by the monitor. So yeah, but since that would be multiple files to download through pastebin, I most likely would not be doing that. But that was a failed attempt at something over there. But I'll probably show you some of the other things that I've done in this world. Is this thing here is a 64 by 64 area that all belongs to one single turtle. And basically what he does is he communicates with this computer over here. Basically what it does is the turtle will tell the computer that it's waiting for... Basically what it does is it just moves around this area randomly. And basically seems to be the word of the day. So what the turtle does is it tells the computer that it's waiting for a direction to move in, or basically it tells the computer that it's waiting for which direction it should turn to. Like, should it just keep looking straight? Should it turn to the left? I mean, the right, Jesus. Or turn to the left. There's the left, yes. And so then the computer will generate that randomly, 1 in 3 chance of getting one of the 3. And then the turtle will turn in the direction it was told to turn in. And then it'll tell the computer that it's ready to know should it move forward, backwards, or not at all. And then the computer will generate that randomly. And also, it'll check if it's successfully moved forwards or backwards. And so basically, the reason why I did that is because if the turtle's facing this way and it tries to move forward, it will because when you have a turtle when you run, like, the way turtles work is when you tell them to turn left, right, move up, down, or forward or backwards, it's running a function. And at the end of the function, it will return true or false based on whether or not it was able to successfully do it. Now, when it comes to turning, like rotating, it's going to return true no matter what, because whether or not it'll be able to do that is not dependent on how much fuel it has, and there's no way and it's impossible for anything to get in the way of that. However, if it tries to move down when it can't, or move up when it can't, or move forward or backwards when it can't, it will return false. And basically, if the turtle returns false when it tries to move, it will then tell that to the computer. And basically, using that information, the computer will then update the location of the turtle within this square. And so, because of that, the computer is able to keep track of the turtle's position. And actually, in this, it reports whether or not it succeeded. And you can see it's failing on something, so that means the turtle must be at the edge of the square, which it's not. Okay, that's bugged. But, like, whenever I come on here, I just like to check on it to see where it is, and when I came on to do that thing, I checked on it, and it was, like, over here, or something like that. And then I finished that thing, it's about, like, 2 hours later, and all of a sudden it's way over there. And it's like, I've been in this world for like 4 hours on end, and it stayed in this general area. But then in like 2.5 hours, it just rockets over there, and I found it a bit interesting. And then this was supposed to be 128 by 128, 3 layers, so there was 3 turtles running to dig it out. That was dug out by a turtle, by the way. However, I accidentally logged out of the world before I was able to finish, and the turtles weren't running off the startup script, and So they just stopped working, and I haven't started again yet. Because I'd have to start them all over here again, and they basically just have to start over, except they'd be trying to mine air, which they don't have an issue with. But while I was waiting for that to be mined out, I made this thing here, which I never really got to work. And basically what it is this computer contains a second script on it, which when it boots up, it will send that script to these two computers. And basically the reason why I did that is so that if I want to change the script, I only have to change it in one computer, and then it'll automatically update the two, instead of having to change it for both of them, because it's supposed to be the same for both of them. And basically, basically again, what it does is these two computers simulate a chat system. They basically chat with each other, and they print the chat messages on these monitors. And this computer also decides which one speaks first. However, I never really got it to work. What it does is it'll successfully load in the script, and it'll seem like it's about to work. Well, if it successfully gets the script, because if you click the screen, it'll reboot this computer, resending the files. And you can see that it didn't do anything, so most of the time it doesn't successfully send the file in the first place. But if it does, it will then run the file, and it'll seem like it's working, and then it'll crash. It won't give an error report. It'll just crash. The computer will reboot because I set it up that way. And it just continues on and tries again. And the reason why the no error message part confuses me is because I have it set up so that whether it returns an error message or not, if the script ends, it requires input from the user before the computer will fully reboot. So I don't know what's going on there. And what I did here was I had just watched a video from Computer File where they discussed how modems worked, and it'll just network through, pick the shortest path from origin to destination, client to server, your computer to website computer, and basically I tried to recreate it, and it doesn't work. This here is just a quick test to see if you can send tables through RedNet, which you can. And then this computer here, this setup here, doesn't really serve a purpose right now. However, I did try something for the very first time. This monitor is hooked up to that computer through RedNet cables. Oh yeah. If I ever manage to build up the patience to build a computer-powered house, this will give me a lot of possibilities. This just makes it all convenient. I can have monitors throughout the house, all controlled by one computer. That would be amazing. But all it does is it prints hello to the screen for the test, and then it also has another program where it sends a message to this computer asking for the current coordinates of the turtle, but I never really got that to work properly. And the reason why is because this computer isn't most of the time it's dealing with that computer over there, and I didn't really design it to be telling other computers the coordinates of the turtle, and so that computer needs to send the message at just the exact right point in time in order for it to work properly, and there's no way for that computer to automatically figure out what that time is. And even if it did manage to figure out exactly what that time is, just like random ghost lag caused by that occurs for no reason whatsoever in this script would very, very, very slowly, but over time it would make that point in time invalid. I think that was me trying to. If you watch my survival episodes, I talked about a simulator that I tried making in another programming language, and that was an attempt at making it in here. And I'm pretty sure that the reason why it's having issues is because I never actually finished it. So this, I forget what that does. Oh, does nothing whatsoever. Good to know. Do you do anything? No. Oh yeah, this is me trying some operating systems that I found on the Computercraft wiki. This is the I have no idea how that is pronounced there, but it's one of the moderators on the wiki. The operating system doesn't do much. It's actually a work in progress, but if we just do this here, here's the main feature. Like, this is probably the only part of the operating system that makes it amazing. Like, pretty much any operating system out there allows you to edit files, which is what I'm doing right here. Basically, what this does is it takes the normal default command prompts of Computercraft. So basically, you just place down a computer that this command prompt right here, it just puts it here. Whatever you type in here, you type in there, and it'll do exactly as what it would do here. And then it'll just run the program in a little window here. And then here's the amazing part. I need to right click, I believe, something. I don't know. Well, you can minimize. No. Oh, I see what I did. Oh dear. I broke it. Let's reboot the computer. Okay, so if we do this again, here's the part about it that makes it amazing. Yeah, that just happened. This is amazing that it can do this. And you can move it as well. Then you can minimize it. And then you can open it. You can close it. I've never seen something that advanced done in Computercraft. Sorry about that. I got interrupted there. I just got a microwave dinner. This is the other one I tried out. This is a bit like the app system on like iPhones and stuff like that. It's got the shell, that. And then you can exit, which basically shuts down the computer. You can see it has a loading screen there. And you can view the changelog, view the different versions. And then you can use the app maker, which you can use to make apps. And whenever you make an app, it'll show up here. You have to make the icon yourself, and it just runs the code straight. It doesn't like prep or anything to run the code. So my operating system will be better than this when I get it running. It won't be as aesthetically pleasing as this, but it's a lot more space efficient because you can see that you've only got 2 rows of apps here, and you can't change the size of the icon, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you can only fit 10 apps here. And I don't know if it has a scrolling system. I haven't tested that. But when the script ends, I had a user input there. When the script actually ends, it just goes back to here. So yeah, the reason why JogOS would be better is you can fit a lot more apps onto the screen at once, and it'll actually clear the screen to black before it runs the script, and just makes it easier. It's not that much. It's not that big of a deal, but well, the fact that it clears the screen to black isn't that big of a deal, but it saves the app maker a tiny bit of trouble. And the icons on JogOS doesn't have icons for the apps, but at least it can fit like 20 of them instead of 10. However, this does update automatically when the computer boots up. It checks a website to see if there's an update available, and if there is, it'll download the update and install it for you. So, yeah. Those two operating systems are both available on the Computercraft wiki. That's right, I just placed you down. I'm looking in you to figure out what do you do, and then I realized I just put you down seconds ago. And this over here is basically because the wireless modem underneath that computer does not reach all the way out to over there. And so what I did is I set up repeat computers around the place. This one I just put up for aesthetic reasons. It's not actually being used. But they just have the repeat script running. So whenever the repeat script is built into Computercraft, and basically what it does is if a RedNet message is broadcasted, if a message is broadcasted over RedNet and that computer is within range, it'll then rebroadcast that message. And it'll say it's coming from the same ID, I believe, but I'm not sure if that actually works. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it does. I don't know. If it doesn't, then that means the JogNet wouldn't work through these. Because in order for the JogNet client to get files from the JogNet server, the ID that it used to download the start script needs to match with the ID being used to get the file. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm not. Just forget what I just said there. Ignore me. Oh. Actually, now that I think about it, in the time that it took me to realize that that computer said it failed, and then me coming over here to load up to render the turtle, it could have moved over here. So I guess the script might not be bugged, but you never know. So yeah, that's this world. That's what I've done here. This is probably the most advanced thing I've done. Because this is pretty interesting, but it's very basic. Very, very basic. This is probably the most complex thing I've done on this world so far. And as you can see, it deserves that title. Yeah, that flickering effect. If I ever find a way to overcome that, then I'll be able to put this back at the normal speed, and I'll probably just set it so that the brick is there all the time instead of being toggleable. I don't know. But, yeah. Pastebin code will be in the description. Hope you enjoy it. Just like I'll probably output a video of just like examples of what you could do with it to make your home look nice, because it gives the effect of a more realistic fireplace than just netherrack on fire, and doesn't have the risk of burning your house down. So yeah, and also you can turn it off with a flick of the switch. Well, you can turn the smoke off so you don't need a chimney. uh, Maybe I could set it up so that you can turn it off with a flick of a switch. Like, it won't actually turn the computer off, but like it won't do anything. It'll just clear the screen to just either white or the brick, whichever you have it set it to at the time, and you can still switch between the two. Basically, it'll just not print the fire and the smoke. Yes. um. So yeah, that'll be the end of this episode. See you guys in the next one.